Welcome back to another episode of Health Bites from our specialists. I'm Genevieve, and today we'll be sharing practical tips on how to keep you and your loved ones safer at home. Joining me is Si Ting from Occupational Therapy from Sengkang General Hospital.
Hi everyone, I'm Si Ting. I'm an occupational therapist with Sengkang General Hospital. Thank you for having me here today to talk more about falls prevention.
We're here in a typical home kitchen where common fall hazards tend to go unnoticed. Can you spot what could cause someone to slip, trip, or fall? Si Ting, could you guide us through some of these hazards and explain to us why they pose such a risk in our daily lives?
Okay, so the most obvious one would be those loose wires that's lying around on the floor. It is important to make sure that these wires are kept out of sight, and you can tie them up with a rubber band or cable ties and just put them aside. Second one would be the kettle above the oven. Ensure that it is placed nicely on a stable tabletop surface and ensure that it is not being placed too outside, as we can easily knock them down when we walk past and it can cause a spillage. Lastly would be the iron that is placed on the kitchen tabletop. You can see that the wire is very near the sink as well, and it can easily be an electrical hazard. So just make sure that for any furniture or items that are not used in the kitchen, you can just store them at a safe place.
So after our kitchen safety check, let's look at the bigger picture. Where do most falls actually occur in the home?
So falls can actually happen almost anywhere. So the most common one would be, in a toilet where it is wet and slippery. Secondly would be our kitchen, bedroom or living room where there are different furnitures where we might accidentally trip over, or there's also any loose wires around. So we just have to make sure that the walkway is cluttered free. Lastly would be main entrances where there are curbs or steps, or even into our toilet as well. In terms of early signs, if you notice that you are having more near trips, or especially at a particular area, you might want to relook into your home environment to make sure that modifications are in place to better support your day-to-day activities within your home.
Many people think that falling is just a part of getting older. Is this true?
That is not always the case. Well, falls do become more common as we become older because of the changes like physical conditions or more health conditions, or taking more medications and with their side effects. It might put us at a higher falls risk, but it is not a given that all older adults will fall with age, especially if the preventions are in place. In terms of daily habits, for person factors wise, it is important to monitor any giddiness, especially when you are getting up from lying to sitting and from sitting to standing, and also to monitor any side effects of the medications. Another suggestion would be to carry your phones with you around at all times, just in case of any emergencies. Another crucial thing to note is that it is important to identify the reason behind the falls so that these interventions can be more targeted as well.
Remember, while falls can happen to anyone and anywhere, most of them can be prevented by making simple changes and by staying alert to our environment. Thank you so much, Si Ting, for sharing with us so much valuable tips and advice on how we can keep our loved ones and ourselves safe at home. Take care, everyone, and join us in the next episode of Health Bites from our specialists. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.